Hello, welcome to Pop Along RC, the RC car channel dedicated to getting you guys into RC and specifically RC car racing. Now, recently on the channel, I've been racing the touring car and I've also been racing the buggy, but what I really enjoy more than any of those classes are my Tamiya racing, and I really do have a lot of fun when I take out my Tamiya trucks, which, since getting, I haven't done much of. However, today was a fantastic opportunity for me to get back down to my local club and get myself racing. So I've not got down to the local club for a little while now, and I really miss just the fun that I have on a Sunday morning racing in the Tamiya class. So today I found out there was going to be a Tamiya truck session on, and there's also another truck race next week at Stevenage, which I'm hoping to attend. So the rules for the trucks at Milton Keynes, it is a 61 tooth spur gear. However, Stevenage, where I also run trucks, they've got open gearing. And when I booked in this week, they said there's a few guys getting ready for a big race that is taking place over at Stevenage. Therefore, gearing was open, which meant I didn't have to rebuild a car. So I took this car here. This was last run at Stevenage Indoor Raceway. So I wanted to just make sure everything's working, get it on the track, and get it ready for next week. The main men that were going to be racing this week and at Stevenage is Chris, the Legend Hampson, and Nathan. Now, Nathan and Chris have been regulars down there running trucks. As I say, I've not run my truck down there for a while, so I knew I had my work cut out. All the way through practice and qualifying, Nathan was proving to be the man to beat. His car was on rails, and he was definitely putting in the faster laps. However, towards the end of qualifying, he was starting to struggle with grip roll, whereas my car wasn't. I was managing to carry just as much speed and I wasn't having an issue with grip roll. So therefore, through some of the turns, I was able to push a little bit harder than him, and that meant that our times actually became very even, which meant it was going to make for a very good final. So for those of you that are not aware, this here is a Tamiya TT01 truck tyres. This is actually my touring car, which I've been running indoors for a few years. All I've done is change the wheels and change the shell. This is a Montec shell. It's a slightly lower profile one to the Tamiya shells. The reason I got this is because it's cheaper. So these shells actually retail, I think, about £30, whereas a proper Tamiya shell of a truck retails at about £50. So when you are going to be racing and smashing, like this has already got a few little tears in it, it's just a little bit cheaper to go with this. Also, they are a little bit lower down. They come with a spoiler, so there should be a little bit of a benefit with performance. But that's why I run this. I'm saving my proper Tamiya shell for sort of big events, big occasions. There's a couple of truck fests that I want to get to. So other than the Montec shell and tyres, this car is pretty much set up to Iconic Cup spec for the TT01 touring cars. So how did it get on the track? When I went out in practice, very little grip. The back end was sliding around all over the place. They don't tend to run additive at Milton Keynes. However, it was a bit of an open event today. Therefore, as we were getting ready for Stevenage, we decided to throw a little bit of additive on the wheels, and it made a big difference. So the top three, that was Nathan, myself, and Chris, were running additive on our cars, and they were doing pretty well going around the track. I put additive on the rear only for, I think, the second round, because I didn't want the back end to sort of snap round. But what that meant is I was actually then struggling with understeer. So for the rest of the day and the final, I ended up putting additive front and rear full tyre. I didn't do any half tyres. But you know what? By the final, the car was performing well. And it was a fantastic final. I need to say a big shout out and a massive thank you to Brendan for pointing the camera for me, and actually everyone at the club who ever points a camera for me, because obviously if I go there on my own, I'm not with Mark, we're not filming each other's races. We do really appreciate people that volunteer or accept taking hold of the camera when it comes to recording races. And do you know what? The final was an absolute belter. So, hope you enjoy it. Here is the final of the TT01 trucks. The truck final, we've got Nathan on pole, Carl in second, Chris the legend Hampson in third. This race could be anyone's. Carl just needs to keep it clean the first couple of laps and try not to get into any trouble. Oh, he's clipped the back of Nathan, and Nathan is off the track. Carl pulls over. He's going to have to let that one go. So he's letting through. So Nathan is back now into fourth place. Carl is in last. Meanwhile, Chris is halfway round the track. This is Chris's race to lose. So Nathan's getting into a rhythm now. Carl's giving it a little bit of space just so they can find a bit of rhythm. There's one truck past. So we now... Oh, Nathan's up into second. Carl is in fourth, working their way through the traffic. That was a nice move up the inside there. Right now, Carl is in pursuit of Nathan. These two have been battling it out all day long, having some fantastic battles on the track. But this is the final. This is the one that counts. So far today, Nathan has been the fastest car. Their lap time's been pretty even, but they've been having some super fun, close racing all day long. So Nathan's starting to get a little bit of a gap on Carl. Carl's keeping it nice and clean, taking his time, being patient. Can't afford to make any mistakes, because if he does, that will be the race over. You cannot afford to make any mistakes. So let's just fast forward, because Chris is being caught slowly but surely. Carl is closing in because they are slowing each other up. Chris is keeping his lines so tight. He's making his truck as wide as possible, but this is allowing Carl the opportunity to catch up. Nathan's taking it easy. I think he's waiting for his moment. He needs to just get back on the gearbox of Chris. Carl is hunting him down. So the three of them now. This is first, second and third on the track. Carl is absolutely flying at the moment, putting in some absolute belt laps. Oh, a little incident there. Nathan's taken out Chris. Chris is... Oh, and Carl's clipped Nathan there. Carl is now chasing down Chris. Chris is in the lead. Carl is second. Nathan is third. We know from practice that Nathan is the faster car. So, can Carl get past Chris? Chris is keeping it super tidy through there. Carl's going to keep it nice and clean. Pick his moments. He's going to try and get up the inside there, but there's nowhere to go. Or you can see Nathan's on his way, but he's got some back markers in between them. Carl again trying to get up the inside, couldn't quite make it. Lovely move there from Nathan, cutting his way through the back markers. He is in hot pursuit. Carl goes wide, tries to cut back, unable to do it. Had to check out there a little bit to stop the contact. And again, Chris is making his truck super wide right now. Nathan hunting them down. So Nathan now is on the charge. Carl's managed to get up the inside, but Chris holds the line for the next turn. Carl goes running outside. Nathan through the inside. Carl and Nathan now 1 and 2. This is a cracking battle on the track. So now Carl is in first, Nathan second, Chris is in third. This is anybody's race. As I say, one mistake and it could easily switch places. Carl now needs to try and get a little bit of gap between him and Nathan if he's going to take this win. They're pretty even down the straight there. Nice and close through there. Not going too wide on the apexes, but I think Nathan's just a little bit quicker through that section. Really does close up. But now we have the issue of back markers. Carl's going to try and come up the inside. Oh no, he's clipped it. That allows Nathan in, and Nathan's clipped and spun him round. They're both into the wall. Nathan's going to yield on that one. He's giving Carl the track back, but it's allowed Chris back out into first place. So Chris now is in first, Carl in second, Nathan third. They've got to do it all over again. We know that Chris can keep his truck nice and wide. but they're gonna, oh, Carl's trying to go around the outside. Nathan's clipped him and Carl's goes through. That might just be the race for Carl, because I don't think Nathan's going to be able to draw this gap back before the end of the race. And there it is. The race is Carl's, Nathan second, Chris third, all finishing on 20 laps. There you go. What a brilliant race that was. I was chuckling to myself pretty much all day today. That's what I like about these. Do you know what? They're fun, enjoyable. Don't get me wrong, I really love the driving experience of the touring car and the way they can carry speed through the turns. I love the undulations and the challenge of buggy racing. But when it comes down to just having a laugh, having a bit of fun, I keep coming back to my Tamiya. I cannot get away from it. I really enjoy running my Tamiya TT01s and obviously the trucks. Today, interestingly, the trucks, myself and Nathan in qualifying managed 21 laps, which was actually, on today's standards, quicker than the TT01 touring cars. So we know we've got pace in these cars, and we just had an absolutely brilliant time. So thanks, Chris. Thanks, Nathan, for making today as fun as it was. And hopefully I will pop along or book in again soon.